Chuck Blair here. Great to have you joining me this morning, and I'm joining you from home as I still work through getting a little better. And yeah, life is on the mend. And today actually, I picked a reading. The readings are over at the office, so I am outside of the lectionary today. But it's a story that I think is worthwhile sharing. It seems a great one to share on a Friday going into a weekend. So it's having a week just feeling under the weather. For me, leaves this feeling of depletion, and then all kinds of other things this week that are challenging, like from a professional standpoint, as well. Just watching people struggle with stuff is hard, and we had a number of really powerful, incredibly powerful small group experiences, and just that sobering bit of wow, life has a lot of challenges to it, and at times it can clearly feel depleting. And I think obviously there's always that rush. Well, don't feel depleted. Take care of yourself. Well, okay, I get that, and, and sometimes we just feel depleted, and that's part of the journey. Part of the journey too. And so I want to talk to you about a beautiful story here, and we have to set the context. And it's this idea. The way I titled today was "For them, it matters that we try," and it's the idea that in dark times, even when we are feeling depleted, that it really matters that we try. As best we can, as imperfectly as we can. We continue to try to do the right thing when not everybody, when everything will kind of point us towards a very justifiable reaction to things that's not necessarily Christ centered. So the story is a simple one, and it's a chilling one. And I do this as a full sermon most Easters because I just find it incredibly powerful. Just even the picture of it, the cinematography of it. So here's Jesus, and he's with his followers. He's in the woods. It's dark at night, and then all of a sudden they see torches moving through the woods. You just think how scary that would be, and Jesus kind of knowing, okay, so this is it. This is that moment as we're moving into Good Friday, and they arrive there to arrest Jesus, and just think about the tension in the air, at that kind of moment, the anger, the hostility, no doubt sadness. Everybody primed to a razor's edge for something to explode, and it does. And that's where we pick up this story. When Jesus's followers saw what was going to happen, in other words, he was going to be arrested by this group of soldiers, they said, "Lord, should we strike with our swords?" And one of them, and in another gospel, it says this was Peter, and one of them struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his right ear. So what happens is they say, "Look, Lord, do you want us to fight?" He replies, doesn't give any reply, and before he gives any, and he does reply in a second here, before anything is said, one of them has pulled out their sword and taken a swing at a guy, hit him on the right ear, and cut off his ear. But Jesus answered, "No more of this," and he touched the man's ear and healed him. So just put yourself in that situation, right? It's actually appears incredibly justified for that guy to take that swing, right? I mean, it makes total sense for that to have happened. And here Jesus does something very different. And the tenderness of this, folks, right? Like you think, okay, so it's his right ear, his right ear. And so here Jesus would have put his hand on his ear, no doubt made eye contact with him, held it there just for a second, and healed it. Now you think about the way that wound would have looked, and you think even within that, like here's Jesus with eye contact. Just allow that eye contact to make contact with you this morning. There's an incredible grace to that, and I like to imagine, right, in my head, and I've actually done this as a service before. What did that servant go on to do? I mean, talk about a life-changing event. And we don't read in the text that the guy's like, "Well, free Jesus, then he clearly healed me." We don't see that the guy was a servant, so the odds of that happening are pretty slim. But you imagine the impact on his life for the rest of his life into all eternity. I have very little doubt, myself, that the guy ended up being one of the first Christians. I think that is not only plausible, but it would seem to make a lot of sense, because so many people who really, some of the best Christians I know are people who come to it through that kind of healing, through wounds that are deep and hard and challenging. And somehow, what do they find? They find this grace, and they find this gentle touch. And that's what we have to do, again, as a church body, as a denominational body, that whole idea of a gentle touch, of being a healing presence in the world. Because sometimes it can feel so tempting, right, to pull out that sword and start swinging. And not only tempting, because I don't even want to like hold it out there like there's this temptation. It's like my buddy Locke used to say all the time: the hardest resentments to get rid of are justified resentments, ones where you really have every right to be justified. And one of the hardest times to put away the sword is when you have absolutely every right to pull it out. And what you decide to do is to not do that. So folks, for this weekend, as we move into this weekend, just think about that for yourself. Where's that going to be true for you? Where can you kind of be either a healing presence, put away the sword, whatever phrase in there kind of works for you. And know that in this times where I imagine a lot of us are feeling depleted. I mean, I'm feeling depleted because I'm a little under the weather, but I imagine there's a lot of us feeling depleted about a lot of things. Just remember that for other people, it really matters that we try. Really matters that we try. In our own small way, it really matters that we try. And I'm thinking here of personally, I'm thinking of my grandson. He's a little guy, and thinking, yeah, it matters that I try, to make the world a better place. And times it can feel so hard, and times where I'd really rather just head for the hills some days, as no doubt many of you do. And I mean that metaphorically, obviously. So folks, I hope that makes sense and gives you a little grace and peace moving into the weekend. And yeah, and so just think about what that means. Think about what it means to be a healing presence, to put away a sword, and just remember that for those little ones, boy, it matters that you try somehow. All right, friends, that's what I have this morning. So thank you for joining me. What we're going to do now is we're going to do our little meditation. After the meditation, we're going to do a prayer. After the prayer, we're going to do a little blessing, and then we'll say hello on social media. So with that, friends, let's get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bringing you home. Amen. All right, friends, this will take me a little second here to pull this up. And just FYI, for next week, we are going to continue on with our stories here. And we are also, just a reminder, Wednesday night, we have an Easter small group. After the Easter small group on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a 7:30 p.m. Good Friday communion service, which is very, very sweet service. And if that has any interest to you, please join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have people joining us to do that, to take part in communion and Holy Supper from all across the country, which will be great. So Cam, good morning to you, my dear friend. Hope you're doing well. Patricia, great to see you joining us this morning. Rick, good morning from home in Maryland for now. Good to see you, Rick. Paige, good morning to you, my dear friend. Linda writes, the tension would be more than overwhelming. How sad, how beautifully tender that Jesus healed his ear. Definitely grace and life changing indeed. Yeah, yeah, Linda, man, the grace of that is just it's almost staggering, right? Like you don't have to do it right now, but just sometimes just put your hand on. I mean, just think of some loving person putting their hands right on the side of your face and just lovingly hold it there. And the impact on that guy. I mean, I almost get teary even talking about it. I can't quite imagine how that would have been like. Martha, good morning to you, my dear friend. Marcus, great to see you in that little sunshine every morning. Sherry, great to see you. Yeah, some blessings to you, my dear friend. May today be lovely. I am looking forward to it being a little bit better than the past few have been, that's for sure. Gene, good morning to you, and I hope your recovery is going well, my friend. Pam writes, thank you for these tender thoughts. You're welcome, Pam. And Pam, thank you last night for that small group. That was really good. That was really, really good. I very much enjoyed that, and great getting a chance to connect with everybody. So folks, just wishing you all the best. God bless. Have a great day, and we will see you again on Monday. Bye-bye.